Center in Ann Arbor, and we had some interconnectivity issues, but we are live right now, and that is all that matters. Right now, we are still in the first half with 15 minutes and 45 seconds left. The Wolverines are leading Northwood 7-4. Right now, the leading scorer is Reed Jr. with 4 points. Reed Jr. also has 3 rebounds. So he right now is playing a great game, and we will see how the Wolverines continue to do right now.
Yeah, and I mean, 7-4 first half. Obviously, this is just an exhibition game versus a Division II team, but this is still a game that the Wolverines can learn a lot about their team. You know, we heard about that scrimmage versus Marquette, which they won 115-111. So this is just another one of those kind of scrimmages, and they can get ready for their for the start of Big Ten play on. I'm not Big Ten play, but the start of the real season on Tuesday.
Yeah, Kobe, and this is all really important. Every single game, we want to be able to see the Wolverines, with a relatively new team, really get some practice, build some chemistry, so everything matters right now. Right now, on the court, we have McDaniel, Burnett, Williams II, Kamahu, and Reed Jr. So who knows, this might be the potential starting lineup for the Wolverines for the regular season. It is inbounded right now to Doug McDaniel, the starting point guard, taking it up the court. Dribbling on the top of the key, some screens being set, and it is passed back down to the big man, Reed Jr. Kicks it back down to Doug. Back to Reed, and he is fouled on a double contested layup.
And that right there, you see just the two-man game between Doug McDaniel and Terrace Reed. We saw it a bit last year, definitely more towards the end of the year. But what I'm going to watch for now is Terrace Reed's free throw shooting. He really struggled. Let's see if he's improved.
Yeah, and he gets fouled a whole lot during his games. He's a big guy, so he really should be getting those free throws down. And he misses the first free throw. We'll see how he does on the second one. He has gotten a chunk of the ball for the first 5 minutes of this game, and we'll see how that continues going into this game. And he shoots it, and the second one falls. That is going to be now 5 points for Reed. He is the leading scorer of the Wolverines with 5 out of the 8 points. Albert takes it up for Northwood. Kicks it back out to Dunn. Now to steal second. Dribbling, tight defense, and it is a steal. And Reed Jr. slams it all the way at the end of the court with a coast-to-coast slam. He has been playing exceptional defense, hasn't he?
I mean, an encouraging start for Terrace Reed for sure. 7 quick points in this game.
Northwood takes it right back up pretty quickly, and they are really struggling on offense right now. Tight defense on both ends. Albert has the ball. Albert is dribbling, and he shoots a deep 3, and it misses from the backboard. And Terrace Reed with another rebound. He now has 3 rebounds and 7 points. Out to Doug McDaniels. Doug McDaniels for 3, and it hits.
If Doug McDaniel can consistently hit threes, he really struggled shooting the ball last season. If he can start to hit those, that really opens up his entire game.
Absolutely. And number 11, Albert with the ball. He's been taking it up now for Northwood, but he has been struggling to find any type of flow right now. They are kicking it around the perimeter. Tries to penetrate, fails. And that is a block by Terrace Reed. And a rebound by Terrace Reed. And it goes out of bounds off Terrace Reed too. It'll be inbounded by Northwood right now.
Yeah, and I mean, in the middle with both Terrace Reed and Olivier Ngamhua. I mean, the transfer from Tennessee, fantastic defender, just so much length.
Yeah, and we're really going to see how these 3 graduate students do here at Michigan. Olivier was a high scorer, averaging around 14.2 points for his previous team. So we'll see if he can bring that high scoring into a Michigan team that really needs some scores right now. It is being inbounded right now by Northwood. Northwood gets it in. and it is kicked out and recovered by Doug. Doug kicks it up the court, and they are fast in transition now, and a blocking foul is called against Northwood. And that is Cheddar who forces a foul. He will be shooting free throws right now.
Yeah, and you love to see Will Cheddar being very aggressive. You know, he has a chance to carve out a bit of a nice role for himself on this team.
And he makes the first free throw, and we're really going to be seeing how these Michigan big men are going to be able to be at the free throw line. They're going to need to connect to once they get to the regular season, because we're expecting some close games here for the Wolverines. And he drills the second one. It is inbounded by Northwood and given to Sims. Sims takes it up the court. Dribbling around, tight defense by the Wolverines. Number 20, Steele second, has the ball now where the logo is. Tries dribbling, unable to get free, kicks it back out. Tries to penetrate, fails. And a foul is called on the Wolverines, and that will be on Jackson.
And Northwood just having a lot of trouble getting the ball inside. They're kind of stuck really dribbling around the perimeter. And, I mean, Michigan's defense has been really intense. Obviously, they are bigger and stronger, but nice to see.
And that's exactly what we want to see from a young Wolverines team. And put the shots up after the inbound, and it is an ugly miss off the backboard, given to Doug. They are in transition now. Gives it to the perimeter to Jackson. Jackson dribbles around back to Doug. And Doug McDonald tries to put a layup up and is blocked by number 5 on Northwood, Jackson. And we have a new lineup in right now for the Wolverines. We have McDaniel, Jackson, Reed Jr., Washington III, and Cheddar. We'll see how this lineup does together. It goes into Doug, back out to Washington III. Washington III for 3, and hits the back iron. But Reed with the rebound. It is. There's now a foul against Northwood. Michigan will be inbounding it right now, and Reed has been an absolute menace right now on the rebound on the board. He has 6 rebounds right now.
Yeah, and after that rebound, I still would like to see a little bit more confidence with the ball, because teams are going to attack him when he has the ball.
Exactly. It is inbounded, and now Doug McDonald has the ball at the top of the key. Kicks it back out to Washington III. Drives in and misses a layup, but it's rebounded by Reed. Reed puts it back up, and a 5-foot little finish for Reed. Terrace Jr. is just scoring at will right now. It is 17-4 with the Wolverines leading right now. 12 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the half. Northwood takes the ball up, trying to get some action here. They are on a 2-minute and 50-second scoring drought right now and are 0 for 4 from the field. And a missed layup from Northwood. They get an offensive rebound, and Lowe puts it in off an easy offensive rebound. Inbounded right now to Doug. Doug takes it up at the top of the key. Tight defense right now by Northwood. Michigan is trying to shake it. Doug still with the ball, navigating around the defense. Kicks it back out to Jackson. Jackson tries penetrating and does so successfully with a layup.
Trey Jackson, another transfer from Seton Hall. One of 3 transfers. Juwan Howard really emphasized the transfer portal.
Exactly, and Northwood takes it right back up, giving to the big guy at the key. He drives in, dishes it back out to steal the second, and a blocking foul is called against the Wolverines on Cheddar. Wolverines fans are disappointed, wanting that to be an offensive foul, but it goes the other way. And a timeout is called right now for Northwood. Right now the score is 19-6, 11:48 in the first half. What have you seen up until the point right now?
Well, I think, considering Northwood has 6 points, I think Michigan's defense, certainly Michigan's. I think 2 things: Michigan's defense and Terrace Reed. Those are what stand out to me. I think Michigan has a lot of length. Olivier Nakamura and Reed and even Nomari Burnett gives them a lot of length on the defensive end, but I mean, Terrace Reed just looks so confident on the glass. He's attacking. He's being aggressive, not shy at all. And for Michigan to take a step, they're going to need Terrace Reed to, they're going to need Terrace Reed to be huge.
Yeah, and I mean, Michigan lost a huge big man last year with Hunter Dickinson leaving for Kansas, right? So we're going to need to see some action from those other big guys to take up for that slack. I mean, Hunter Dickinson last year, he averaged 18.5 points per game and 9 rebounds per game. And he right now just went to the #1 team in the country, Kansas. So we'll for sure be looking for some other big men to take up that empty role. And who knows, might be Terrace Reed Jr. to take that up.
Yeah, and I mean, he is going to have a chance to play a lot more minutes than he did last year. I mean, it was a little tough if trying to play him and Hunter on the court together. But I mean, because Terrace Reed's not necessarily a threat with the outside shot, but if he can get the free throw percentage higher, he was at 40% last season. He's 1 of 2. Based on 2 shots, that's already a 10% improvement.
And we'll take anything here for the Wolverines fans. And the timeout is about to end. Like I said before, it is 19 Wolverines, 6 Northwood. This is an exhibition game, with Northwood being a Division II school and traveling just an hour or 2 away from here in Michigan to play the Wolverines in their only exhibition game before the regular season starts next week. And we have a new lineup in right now for the Wolverines. And right now, Burnett came in for Doug. They inbound, Northwood inbounds it. A shot is put up and blocked by Cheddar. Steele second, recovers it. Takes it back out to the perimeter. And Michigan defense is just suffocating them right now. They're at the top of the key with 5 seconds left at the perimeter. That is Albert. Albert puts up a very contested shot and airballs it, rebounded by Olivier Kamaha. Kamaha puts a shot up, and bang, it hits.
I mean, that's something that it's going to be huge for him to kind of be that 3 in D player for Michigan.
I have to agree. And now number 5 Northwood takes it up to the key, kicks it back out to the corner, puts up a little floater, and airballed again. That is recovered by Jackson. Now Jackson takes it up the court, kicks it back to Olivier Kamawa, and he dishes it out to Cheddar on the post. Does a spin move, fails. Kicks it back out to Washington III, who drives it in and tries some acrobatics near the rim, but fails. Rebounded by Northwood. It is kicked out to Jackson. Jackson in the perimeter, dribbling around. Screen is set, puts up a 3. And airballed again. Those are 3 straight airballs for Northwood. We're going to coast now. And it is a slam by Jackson at the end of their court. Michigan right now is absolutely suffocating Northwood on the defensive end. They have not been able to get a successful shot up in the past 3 attempts. And another timeout is called by Northwood. And I mean, how important is defense going to be for the Wolverines this year?
Well, so we've seen at times, especially last year, the offense, it was kind of just give the ball to Hunter Dickinson or have Jet Howard isolation or Kobe Buffkin drive. And it was kind of a little bit like one-on-one at times. And this team is not really going to be able to do that. They're not as talented as they've been in the past. So the defense is going to be going to have to be an even bigger part of this team than it has been in the past. And so these guys are going to have to work together, manufacture more offense. But the defense is going to be, if Michigan can really improve this year and make the tournament, the defense is how it's going to happen.
Absolutely. And obviously, NCAA Tournament is the aspiration for the Wolverines every single year. They failed to do that last year, but hopefully they'll do it this year. Northwood inbounds it to their big man, who then kicks it out. And an and 1 for Northwood, and as Jackson takes it to the rim and pummels over the defender. He will be shooting one more from the charity stripe. And that was the first field goal for Northwood in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it took some real real acrobatics for that to happen. So Michigan for Northwood, Michigan's just really tough to score on.
Absolutely. And the free throw falls for Jackson. Michigan inbounds it to number 4, Burnett, who takes it up the court and is looking for a screen. Cheddar gets the ball at the top of the key, kicks it back down to Nakamura, and a deep three is shot by Burnett, and Burnett nails the three.
And that is huge for Namari Burnett, a really high-rated recruit. Really didn't work out at Texas Tech and Bama, but now he's here. Let's see what he can do.
Hopefully able to bring up some action, and Northwood brings up the court. It is tipped as a pass to the perimeter is sent, but is recovered by Northwood. Sims has the ball, penetrates, and fails to put it in. Cheddar kicks it back out to Nakamura, who takes it up the court, wants to get into the perimeter, kicks it back out to Cheddar. Washington with a deep three, and it does not connect. Washington recovers the rebound, though, kicks it back out to Cheddar, and Cheddar double teamed right now. Does not hit the layup. Recovered by Northwood. Young second is bringing it up for Northwood. Looking for another screen. Does not get it. Gets to the corner. And really suffocating defense right now from the Wolverines. They have to keep on moving the ball if they want to see some action. And now Jackson penetrates and is blocked by Cheddar at the rim. Now we have a 3-on-2 for the Wolverines to decide to kick it back out. Give it to Cheddar down in the post. Back out to Washington in the corner. Washington kicks it out. Give it down to Cheddar in the post. Cheddar puts up a post shot and does not connect. It is recovered by Lowe, the big man for Northwood. Right now Northwood is bringing it up. Sims has the ball. Sims is working the perimeter, trying to penetrate, but is not able to. They're able to give it back down to Dunn, and Dunn puts in an easy layup in. Michigan goes to inbound the ball, and they actually have a turnover on the inbound. It goes off the hands of Cheddar. Jackson puts up a shot from the steal from the free throw line, and he puts it in. Right now, Michigan 27, Northwood 13, so they're on a little bit of a run. Let's see how the Wolverines are able to react from this. Burnett now brings the ball up for Michigan. Wants to give it to Kamawa. Dishes it back out to Washington the third. Washington the third tries to penetrate, kicks it out to Cheddar. Washington third back in the corner, open three, and it connects for Washington. And Michigan is really shooting successfully right now from the three-point line. They are 4 for 9 for 44%, and that's what we want to see from the Wolverines, be able to shoot from the three-point line.
Absolutely. If you can play defense and shoot threes, things are going to work out for you.
Absolutely, and the Northwood brings it right back up. They're trying to work it around the perimeter. The screens don't seem to be working for Northwood today. Tries to penetrate, met at the free throw line, kicks it back out to Jackson. Jackson dribbling, Jackson with a step back three, and Jackson hits the back iron. Recovered by Washington at the other end, and Washington puts in a very acrobatic finish layup and celebrates over Jackson. What a finish by Washington.
There's a reason George Washington III is a pretty highly rated recruit, 4-star, according to 247 Sports. I mean,
and he is great at stretching the floor. Northwood now brings it back up. They give it down to their big man, who fails as he is met by Kamo at the rim, and Kamo blocks it at the rim after an attempted layup. And Michigan is fast in transition, gives it to Jackson, and Jackson finishes an easy layup. And this transition buckets are going to be so essential for the Wolverines to be a quick team.
Yeah, and I mean, so we saw Trey Jackson with the ball maybe like 3-4 possessions ago. They had the numbers advantage. They didn't attack. There, Trey Jackson recognized it. Probably a little easier because of the 2-on-1, but they finished it. I love the transition. I think if you can get like blocks and steals and run out in transition, a great way to get some free points, to not have to go against a set defense, which is really hard. So, yeah, I mean, transition
Yeah.
is really huge.
Transition buckets are the easy ones that they can get. Right now, it is the Wolverines leading 34 to Northwood 13. There is 6 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first half. And why don't we talk a little bit about the head coach, Juwan Howard, who is not able to coach today for the Wolverines as he's recovering from surgery. How important do you think he is for this team? I mean, this is his fifth season as the head coach for the Wolverines, and he's had already 2 NCAA appearances. He won the Coach of the Year in 2021, so clearly he has a huge impact on this team.
Yeah, and I mean, and so I would say he would say this too. Last season was a bit of a down season, but back-to-back Sweet 16 for Juwan Howard. Than the previous year, the COVID year, they and then the COVID year when they would have made the tournament too. So, I mean, just obviously not what he wanted last year, but this season I think is going to be a redemption season. And if Michigan can make the tournament, I think that is a success. But obviously, without Juwan Howard, going to be tough. But he's put together a fantastic coaching staff.
Absolutely.
That I think can get Michigan through this non-conference stretch.
Yeah, and a very promising statistic from Juwan while he's been here is that he has coached the Wolverine rookie to a Big Ten all-freshman team 4 years in a row. So I guess it'll be interesting this year to see which freshman is able to do that for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and so based on what we're seeing today, well, George Washington III is the only incoming freshman from the class. So he would have to be it. And based on what we saw today,
promising, though. He's been looking pretty good as of now. So we'll see if Juwan Howard continues that streak and sends another rookie to the Big Ten all-freshman team. We are just out of the timeout. There's 6 minutes and 12 seconds left of this half with Michigan leading 34 to Northwood's 13. Northwood inbounds it to Albert. Albert brings it up the court, kicks it back out to Young the second. Young the second attempts to penetrate and is met, and he throws it away, and it is recovered at the other side by Burnett, but Burnett loses it off of his feet.
I mean, the active defense here, forcing turnovers. Yeah, I mean, just when you force bad passes, it works.
Absolutely. Northwood brings it up now with Albert leading the group. Albert penetrates and is met at the rim by Terrace Reed Jr., who then fouls Albert. Albert will be shooting. Albert will not be shooting. They will be inbounding it.
And we see a lot with young players, and so with Terrace Reed there, more instead of trying to contest the shot, trying to block it, and sometimes while that may lead to more blocks, it also leads to more fouls. So
absolutely, and we want them, those big men like Terrace Reed, to stay out of foul trouble. And officials talked, and it will be 2 free throws for Northwood, and Albert drills. The first one is preparing right now for the second free throw. And the second free throw does not go and is rebounded by Reed Jr. Reed Jr. kicks it back out to Doug McDonald. We have sort of the starting lineup back in right now for the Wolverines with McDaniel, Burnett, Williams second, Kamua, and Reed Jr. in right now for the Wolverines. At the top of the key, it is kicked back out to Doug McDaniel. Terrace Reed is fouled by 2 separate men from Northwood at the bottom of the paint. It'll be an inbound for Michigan.
And again, on the other side, Terrace Reed, he's very physical, hard to stop. So he will probably be fouled a lot. Combined with the poor free throw shooting, the foul game for Terrace Reed is going to be huge.
Absolutely. Michigan inbounds it. It goes to Doug in the corner, and he nails the corner 3. That is his second made 3 from the corner. I think he has seemed to found his sweet spot for this game. And now Northwood brings it back up with Albert leading the group. Albert tries to dish it. He's not able to. Now gives it to Young second. Young second penetrates and he is able to make a little floater. It is rebounded by Kamawam, given to Doug at the other end. Given to Terrace Reed at the bottom of the key, and he is fouled again, and this time he makes the layup. That is an and one for Terrace Reed Jr., and he is absolutely dominating right now with 11 points, and he is 5 from 5 for the field.
Yeah, and he's close to a double-double, too, has a chance for the and one. I mean, he has been clearly the standout of this game for Michigan, and if he can take a big step forward and be and just be a dominant big force, we've seen, that works in the Big Ten. There are a lot of dominant big men in the Big Ten.
Yeah, absolutely. And he actually makes the free throw, which is his first made free throw of the day. And Albert kicks it back out to Young the second. Young the second gets the ball stolen, and Doug McDonald recovers it for the Wolverines. Doug is leading the pack right now, and he is at the top of the key trying to set up a play. It is given to Reed Jr. at the free throw line, kicked back out to Williams II. Williams II has the ball now. He gives it to Doug. Doug maneuvers to the corner. Doug gives it back out to Williams II. It is kicked out for a sidestep three to Burnett, and Burnett nails the sidestep three.
These 3-pointers from Michigan, I love the ball movement. If you're being doubled, someone has to be open, and Williams was doubled, and he found Namari Burnett.
Absolutely, and it's great that the shots are falling. Northwood takes it up. Right now, Sims has the ball, shoots a three, and it is no good from the heavy contest from Kamala. Doug is bringing the ball up the court for the Wolverines. He shoots a three, and he misses, but Terrace Reed gets the rebound, puts it back up, and fails, but is actually called on a late foul on Steele II.
Yeah, Terrace Reed, dominant once again. 9 rebounds in the first half.
Yeah, he has played 11 minutes of the first half, and he has 12 points and 9 rebounds. That is incredible numbers for the Michigan big man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it is against Division II Northwood, but still, still encouraging nonetheless.
That is great to see that the Michigan Wolverines are succeeding. And let's talk a little bit about the players that left Michigan from last year. So there were 6 total players that left last year. We have Hunter Dickinson, who was an integral part of the team last year. Jed Howard went to the draft, was drafted 11th overall to the Magic, and Kobe Buffkin was drafted 15th overall to the Hawks. So what are those three, without those 3 players, what's going to happen to the Wolverines now? How can they recover from those 3 starters leaving?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's going to be tough, and they lost their 3 best players, and considering with those 3 players, 2 lottery picks, and one of the best players in college basketball, in Hunter Dickinson, I mean, and they didn't make the tournament. It's hard to see unless they get some really good improvement from the returners and the transfers. That's going to be the only way they make the tournament, if they get really big improvement from their current players and the transfers. Obviously, we're going to see how this coaching staff develop their players. We need a set forward from Terrence Williams. He changed his shot. He was making them in the scrimmage against Marquette, so that's encouraging. And we saw Terrence Williams' freshman year. We saw some really nice things from him, and then last couple years, it's been kind of stagnant. But this year for Terrence Williams is going to be so huge, and he is so important for this Michigan team.
Yeah, and in the offseason, everyone's saying how he reinvented his whole shot form, and we'll see if that will be to his benefit, because last year he only had 6.1 points per game, but he also added 25 pounds, and he is a big guy, so those 25 pounds that he says are of pure muscle will surely help him take the leap that he hopes to take, because he's a senior and looking to go to the draft next year. So we'll see the impact he has for the Wolverines this year. We're back from the timeout. It is the Wolverines 43 to Northwood's 14, and we have number 32, Terrace Reed Jr. at the free throw line, shooting his first one, and he misses a free throw. And like we've been saying the whole game, he is going to get those free throws down because he will be on the line many times this year, and every single point counts for these close games that we intend to see for the Wolverines. Takes a second free throw and makes a second free throw. So that puts Terrace Reed at about 50% from the free throw line, which all things considering is good. Northwood inbounds it to Albert. Albert gets a pick, and now he's getting double teamed at the backcourt. Tries to kick it out, and it calls an emergency timeout. So that'll be another timeout charged for Northwood with 3 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, and that's really hard when you have two much taller guys on you. Really nowhere to go. Had to call that timeout, or else it for sure would have been a turnover. And you mentioned Terrace Reed now 50% for the game. Now, while 50% is a 10% improvement, obviously you'd like to see it a bit higher. If he can get to 65%,
65%
I'd say that's
the
number where, you know, he's not a liability. He can make enough where when he gets to the free throw line, it's worth it.
Absolutely, and we return from the timeout with Northwood inbounding it to Albert. Albert shakes Doug, and he misses a three. But they get an offensive rebound, and they put up another three, and that one goes in for Jackson. Jordan Jackson right now for Northwood has 8 points, and he is currently their leading scorer. Doug takes it up the court, maneuvers around the perimeter, and wants to give it to Conway, who puts it up for the layup, and it is an easy layup. Right now, although Doug has been distributing the ball very, very well, we have Burnett as a leading assister with 4 assists for the game. And Northwood is just swallowed by a defense as Burnett steals the ball, but they recover it. And Albert misses a three-pointer, but another offensive rebound for Northwood. And their big man, Lowe, puts it up, and he drops it in.
Lowe's been getting some boards. I mean, he's
got 6 rebounds. He's gotten a lot of boards.
Yeah, I mean, over Reed, over Kamala.
Yeah, and Doug brings it up the court, and he's pickpocketed, but they recover it. And now Doug passes it back out to Burnett, and Burnett nails the corner three. So it's great to see that Doug and Burnett are able to distribute the ball very well, because it'll be very important for these double teams that are going to be happening with Michigan having a few key players on offense, and they're going to be able to need to distribute the ball and nail those threes.
Yeah, and with those 3 points, it just makes it so much easier. The defense has to worry so much more. Last year, Michigan, not a good three-point shooting team. Part of the reason why it was not that hard to play defense against them. Yeah,
they'll be looking to recover from that. Northwood takes it up. A little floater is missed by Albert, but they get another offensive rebound. Number 5, Jackson shoots a step-back three, but he misses, and that is a recovered rebound by Cheddar on the Wolverines. And now Williams, the second, brings it up the court with intent to score, and he does so successfully with a little reverse layup. And that's exactly what he said he worked on, that 25 added pounds of muscle. We'll see how that benefits him when he's running down the court and bodying some of these larger men. And Albert shoots a layup but misses, but they get another offensive rebound by Lowe, and Lowe drops it in. And we're seeing Cheddar struggling to guard Lowe, as Lowe now has 7 rebounds, with 2 of those being offensive rebounds in the past 2 minutes. Doug brings it up the court and dishes it out to Jackson, the perimeter. A little quick pass to Washington this second. They kick it back out to Doug. Cheddar now has the ball against the big man Lowe on the corner. Dishes it out to Jackson. Jackson shoots the three from the corner and nails the three.
This three-point shooting is extremely encouraging. Small sample size, but this looks
It's
pretty
phenomenal,
good.
and that's what we're seeing of Terrace Williams. New shot form being full on display, and it's clearly working for now from the 3-point line. So we'll hopefully see some continued success from that. Alba brings up the ball for Northwood. It dishes it to the big man Low, who's been seeing success right now, but he misses that free throw. We have 19 seconds left in the first half. Cheddar gets the ball, and Cheddar gets blocked from a chase down block from number 5 Jackson on Northwood. 10 seconds left. Northwood has the ball. Albert dishes the ball to Jackson. Jackson gives the ball to Low, the big man, and a blocking foul is called on Michigan. With 4.2 seconds remaining in the first half, Wolverines lead 54 to 24 of Northwood, and they will be shooting. Northwood will be shooting free throws.
Even though Cheddar got blocked, it was a great run of the floor. Maybe he probably needs to go for a dunk there, but still great job running the floor. When Will Cheddar's out there, he needs to be involved in the offense. He needs to involve himself in the offense a bit more, and that's a great job right there.
Absolutely. The first free throw goes up for Low, and it bounces on the rim and misses. There's 3 seconds left. Michigan tries to pull it. Doug has the ball, kicks it out to Burnett, and he misses the 3. We end the first half of the first exhibition game, and the only exhibition game for the Michigan Wolverines men's basketball team, with Michigan leading 54 to Northwood's 24. And let's talk a little bit about the first half and what we saw. What did you like? What did you not like?
Well, I liked the threes and the defense. It's very simple. If you make three-pointers and you play good defense, guard the perimeter well and don't let people inside, it makes playing basketball fun, and it makes you more likely to win, obviously. And, Longwood just not doing a great job of contesting these shots, but the fact that Michigan is making some of these open threes is extremely encouraging. And you have guys all over the floor. If Burnett, Kamwa, Doug McDaniel, Terrence Williams, George Washington, if they can all make threes, it opens up things for Terrace Reed inside, who is not a three-point threat. So when you have Terrace Reed inside and you have three-point threats around him, and this is why his passing is going to be so important. You double him. If Terrace Reed can pass it out, that's a 3.
Absolutely. So spreading the floor is going to be very important for the Wolverines this year. Let's talk a bit about the stat leaders for the Wolverines. Right now, Terrace Reed Jr. with 13 points leading the Wolverines. He also is a leading rebounder with 10 points. So that is a double-double in the first half for the Wolverines. And DeMar Burnett is a leading assister with 4 assists. So a double-double in the first half. If he can recreate that in the regular season every single game, I promise you will see success this year from the Wolverines.
Yes. If Terrace Reed has a double-double in the first half every single game, Michigan is going to be very good. But will that happen? Probably not. But his rebounding is going to be really important on both the defensive end and the offensive end. He's going to be battling with some really tough big men in the Big Ten, as there always are. So he's going to be tested every single night, and he's going to be extremely key.
Absolutely. And let's talk also about Doug McDaniel, who was a freshman last year, saw a lot of action because the starting point guard last year, who started the season, was Jalen Llewellyn, who tore his ACL early last year. So he started 24 of 36 games and averaged 8.6 points per game, 3.1 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game, and 1.1 steals per game. It'll be exciting to see how he develops, as it seems like he'll be starting this year, right?
Yeah, and you mentioned Jalen Llewellyn too. So when Jalen Llewellyn gets back, as hopefully he will be back soon. Obviously, tore his ACL. He's still participating in non-contact drills in practice. So we don't know when we'll see him, but that duo between Llewellyn and McDaniel, if one of them can really emerge as a great distributor, guard play in college basketball is so important. That's going to be so key, as we saw in the Michigan teams the last couple of years with transfers like Mike Smith, like Devontae Jones. When they started playing well, especially when Devontae Jones was playing well, that's really when Michigan emerged near the end of the 2022 season. Like, guard play for this Michigan team from the point guard spot is going to be so important. So if one of Doug McDaniel and Jalen Llewellyn can take a real step forward, that's going to be very important for this team.
Absolutely. It will be so important because, as we've seen, Terrence Jr. has been getting what he wants. Obviously, we're playing against a D2 team right now, but all things considering, he is dominating the floor right now. So if those point guards and those shooting guards can get those shots going, making them fall, and then they can spread the ball out down low, it will be a recipe for success for the Wolverines this year. What I also want to talk about during this halftime break that we only have 11 minutes now left of is some U of M players that have gone pro in the past years, because we've seen some recent success. Although last year they only got to the NIT, and the years before they did reach the Elite Eight, we haven't seen championship basketball here from the Wolverines, but there have been some championship winners from the Wolverines in the NBA, like Jordan Poole.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, there probably aren't lottery level players on this team right now, although you never know who will emerge. This year, I think the goal is to make the tournament. I don't think they're a national title contender. I mean, you look at ESPN, BPI, KenPom, Michigan consistently kind of in like the 35 to 50 range overall. So I think expectations for this season, I think, is to make the tournament. I think that would be a success. But but when you do have guys consistently who go in the lottery, the expectation is to go far in the tournament. So maybe like this is more of like a development year, I would say. But we'll see. Hopefully, Michigan can develop some players like George Washington, Terrace Reed to take the step in 2024, 2025.
Yeah, and with 6 players leaving the Wolverines and them gaining 5 players, this is a relatively new team that needs to build chemistry. So even though this exhibition game might not seem so important because they're playing a Division II school, all these live action plays and all this live action feels for the Wolverines men's basketball team is so important for a group that is not as tight-knit as previous years, because previous years the players have been staying longer, but this was a huge loss for the Wolverines with 6 players leaving. So we'll see how quickly they're able to build chemistry and if they'll be able to make hopefully a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, so if we look at the Wolverines roster, I mean, they're in terms of talent, in terms of the players, the returners that have played a ton of minutes. It's a lot of young guys that that are the returners. The rest are maybe people coming back from injury or transfers. It's pretty much Terrence Williams, it's Terrace Reed, and it's Doug McDaniel, and those are the guys who have really played extended minutes. We've seen Will Cheddar, Jace Howard play a little bit, but yeah, what you said about this being a new team, they're going to need to build chemistry. And the good thing about a basketball season is you have time. You have months and months and months, and like in a conference like the Big Ten, if you start off slow, you still have the chance to build up your resume throughout the season. So while this Michigan team is not experienced playing together, I think they certainly can develop that over the course of the season.
Yeah, and you mentioned his name, but I want to dive into him a little bit more. Let's talk about Jace Howard, who suffered an injury over the offseason. His injury was a stress fracture in the right knee, and he's expected to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So that sidelines him for pretty much a month and a half of the season, which is obviously no good for Wolverines, as he was expected to take a big part in this year, as he is a junior this year. He was supposed to bring a lot of leadership, but we'll see. Hopefully his injury gets better and be able to come back to the team soon.
Yeah, and he's not only on the court, but off the court. He is a tremendous presence from this team. He is just, I mean, he's just a great guy, and when you have great guys on your team, it just makes it fun, and you know. But he while he's hurt, I'm certain he will be super engaged on this team, and yeah, I think even when he's not playing, he's a really important part of this team.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now for WCBN Sports, my name is Mary Kuznier, and right here is Kobe Singer, and we will be hopping off the broadcast right now and giving it to two more talented broadcasters to the left of us. But just to leave you with something, there is 5 minutes left of halftime right now with the Wolverines leading 54 and Northwood has 23. So thank you so much for listening in, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the game. Go Wolverines.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello? I don't hear you.
Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello? You can hear.
You can hear us? Okay, perfect. All right, hello. This is Gavin Briggs.
And this is Alice Biscay. Welcome to the second half of Michigan versus Northwood. Now you're
Okay. All right. Had a fun first half of Michigan basketball. Got off to a good start. Terrace Reed had a really good first half, double-double. Terrace Reed had a really good first half with the double-double.
Yes, had a great first half. Leading scorer for Michigan in the first half, along with great in the rebounds as well. It's really dominating on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, this is going to be huge for Michigan basketball. If Terrace Reed can have a good year, it'll be really big. The Big Ten has a lot of good big men, so he is going to have to step up to go against the likes of Zach Edey and other players in the Big Ten Conference.
Yeah. Also been a great first half for Michigan, just able to give players that maybe wouldn't have been getting competitive minutes in the first game of the season. There's been a lot of transitions of players on the court, so a lot of players getting minutes really early into the season, which is great.
Yeah, losing all those players last year throughout the draft or the transfers, it's going to be big to get these players some experience heading into the season.
Yeah. On the other hand, Northwood, it's been a hard half for them so far. What did you think of their performance?
They definitely struggled, but I think that was expected coming in. You have a D2 team playing a Division I team. It's always going to be rough. They surprisingly kind of limited turnovers, only 5 for Northwood. You would have expected more, but here we go, starting the second half.
And it's Michigan ball.
Out of bounds, Michigan basketball.
Jackson inbounds it, and Doug takes it up the floor. And that's 2 points by Olivier Kamara as Northwood's Albert takes up the court, hands it off to Jackson. Out to Vargaser and back to Albert. Hanging out on the three-point line. Drives it into the paint. And a block by Michigan's number 13, who drives it into the post and slams it for the dunk. Number 13, Olivier Kamara.
Back-to-back dunks for him. He's Tennessee transfer, looking to have a big year from him.
As Albert has the ball at the top of the key, passes it, and it's stolen by Michigan again. Number 2, Jackson drives up the court, goes for the shot, but misses. As Northwood's 11 has it again.
Swinging. Here's Northwood driving in.
And a missed pass by Northwood's number 5, Jackson, as Michigan gets the and one on the transition.
Athletic finish from Doug McDaniel.
Doug goes for a physical.
Northwood foul is number 5, Jordan Jackson.
Physical
Second personal foul, team's
two,
first in the
and
second half.
gets hammered at the rim.
Taking it for the Timberwolves, number 3, Jaden
Great
Sims.
finish for him.
Again, another strong start by Michigan to start the second half.
0, Doug McDaniel at the line, they're shooting 1.
McDaniel's had a strong start to the day.
As he makes
50%.
his free throw. Northwood drives it up the court. Defended by Doug. Drives into the paint. Goes for the shot, but it rolls off the rim. But they get the rebound. But Michigan's able to recover. Number 4, Burnett. Quickly up the field, and is slammed again by Michigan's number 5, Williams II.
Great hustle play from the Michigan defense there, getting the steal, going back in transition, and getting the finish.
Northwood slowly takes up the court. Swinging it around. The 3. But strong defense by Michigan, and number 4, Michigan's Burnett gets a touch on it, but Northwood's able to recover, but not for long as Doug gets it again.
Yet another
And number 2 for Michigan, Trevor Jackson gets the layup.
Northwood with only 5 turnovers in that first half, and now they have a quick 3 here, 3 minutes in.
Northwood swings it out to 3, goes off the rim, but can't make the shot, but they recover. And are able to get it to from number 33, Richard Lowe.
Good finish there over the top.
Olivier has it at the top of the key, swings it out to Doug. Who swings it to the left side of the 3. For Trey Jackson, another 3 for the night. That
From Doug McDaniel.
is his second 3 for the game so far.
7 for 8 from the field today, having a great start to his season.
Jackson for Northwood drives it, rolls off the rim, but doesn't go down as Doug drives it into the post with the layup.
Doug McDaniel slow, walking off the court there.
Media timeout on the floor.
And
As
here's
we
the
get
media timeout.
Yeah.
Nominations are now open to be our Hero of the Game presented by Belfour Property Restoration during the 2023-24 season. Nominate any family members or friends who served in the military, is a veteran, a first responder, doctor, nurse, or anyone else that makes a positive impact on our community. To nominate a hero, visit mnorthwood.com or scan the QR code on the video board. Belfour Property Restoration, the official property restoration partner of Michigan Athletics. To find your local Belfour office, visit www.belfour.com.
Okay. Can't. See, I don't know what turns on the mic, the headphones.
Well, no, I don't think that my mic's loud. Like, I don't think they can be heard very loud that time.
Okay, that's fine. What?
Here is Jackson with the ball. Takes the three, misses. Rebound for Cheddar. Here is number 4, Burnett, taking the ball up the court. Now Cheddar for three, misses front rim. Rebound by Northwood, pushing the ball up the court. Into the corner for number 3, Sims, misses. Rebound, Cheddar. Pushing up the court, George Washington throws it up to Burnett with the missed dunk. Now Northwood back, pushing up the court. Here's Jackson. Jackson out to the wing. Up to the top of the key. Here's Sims on the right wing now. There's the three from 33 low, misses it. And Michigan with the rebound. There's the lob to Trey Jackson. Trey Jackson with the finish. Assist from number 5, Terrence Williams.
Northwood fouls number 33, Richard Lowe. His second personal, team second. Taking it for the Timberwolves.
Phenomenal play from the Michigan offense there, pushing the ball in transition and getting a great highlight play in the and one. And Jackson will make the free throw, putting his total at 19 for the night. Here's Northwood crossing half court. Albert with the screen. Kicks up to the top of the key. There's a deep mid-range. Bounces off the rim. Rebound by number 5, Williams. Williams now working in the post with the hook shot, and it's in.
Second field goal for the night for Terrence Williams.
Now here's Albert. Over to the wing, Jackson. Jackson swinging. Sims now with the ball. With the floater. Banks it off of the backboard.
Jaden Sims.
There's the Cheddar three, misses. And that's going to be out of bounds on Michigan off of Terrence Williams.
Checking in for the Timberwolves, 24.
Yeah, besides the Timberwolves not banking shots, which they really need to be making, they just really seem to have a really hard time keeping possession. A lot of turnovers, a lot of missed shots that they're not able to rebound again, and just not helping their case against Michigan, who are having a great time getting shots in.
Yeah. Now here is Albert over to Young. Young back to Albert, top of the key. Screen from Dunn. Albert working against Kamwa. And he shoots the mid-range and misses. Cheddar with the rebound. Dribbling up the court. Up to Burnett. Down to Kamwa for the dunk. More fast break points for Michigan, as that's been their strong suit today. Now Northwood. Here's Young. Young guarded by Cheddar, shoots the three, misses. Rebound by Kamwa. Up to Cheddar, who will finish at the cup. Northwood had a lot of offensive rebounds in that first half, and they haven't had that this second half. I bet that was something Michigan talked about. And here's the steal by Washington. Washington over to the wing. There's the three from Doug McDaniel. And now here's Michigan sub. And Michigan timeout as well.
Their second charge timeout. Media timeout before.
Michigan in the second half has made it a point to work on the fast break. What have you noticed in today's game?
Yeah, it's been rough for Northwood, and in kind of all the areas. Like you said, in the first half they were getting a lot more offensive rebounds, which Michigan's kind of put somewhat of a stop to the second half so far. Yeah, but Michigan have had 7 steals already, which is compared to Northwood's 1, and Northwood are only 23% for field goals, 7% for three-point shots. Just nothing seems to be falling, and just bad overturns as well.
Yeah, and I think the stat that kind of shows you what today's game has been is Michigan with 19 assists to Northwood's 0. We're halfway through the second half, and Northwood is yet to get an assist.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Michigan, another great start to the half. Jackson continues to impress with now 19 points for the night so far and 10 rebounds, 6 assists.
Great game from him so far. Harris Reed yet to play in the second half. He's had a great first half, and now they're giving him a break because with it being an exhibition game, get to use a lot more of your bench and see what you have going into the season.
Yeah, there does seem to be a lot of depth in this Michigan team for this season. With great performances by a lot of players. Of course, you have Jackson, who has impressed, but Burnett's been great, Williams II's been great, Cheddar's been great. Just a lot of names that are showing up on the stat sheet and contributing for Michigan in this first game.
And all these players will be huge coming into the regular season with not a lot of expectations for this team, but always looking to be competitive.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe they'll defy the odds and pull out a great season.
Yeah, at this point, what they're looking for is just a March Madness bid and look to try and make a run from there. And here we are coming out of the timeout. It will be Northwood ball. Inbounds to Albert. Albert bringing it up. Albert now to Sims. Sims up to the top of the key. That's Steele. Steele back to Albert. Albert now against Washington. Puts up a floater and in.
Colin Albert.
Now here's Burnett bringing the ball up the court for Michigan. Burnett. Now to Terrence Williams. Up to Cheddar in the high post, and he'll shoot the mid-range. Bounces off the rim a couple times, and it's rebounded by Northwood. Albert now pushing, shoots the 3, and in.
Good
Albert with the 3.
Colin Albert.
Good start for Northwood coming out of that timeout.
Yeah, getting the stop, getting the 3, that's huge for them. Now here's Washington missing, might have even gotten blocked on that layup there. Albert now for Northwood, working against Comwa, and that'll be blocked. Kicks it out to Young, now over to Sims. Sims on the right 3, step back in the corner, drives in, now kicks back out to Albert for the deep 3 and off. Here is Steele with the mid-range, and he will miss. Comwa now bringing the ball up the court for Michigan. Now over to Terrence Williams. Back up to George Washington III. Washington to Cheddar. Back over to Burnett, then back to Washington. Washington now dribbles in with the pull-up mid-range. That will be off. Ball bounced off and saved by Michigan, but it will bounce off of Cheddar, and that'll be Northwood ball.
Northwood basketball. Media timeout on the floor.
And here's next media timeout.
Yeah, that was a better start for Northwood. were able to get 5 points on the board and kind of hold off Michigan. Yeah, they just need to continue that momentum. Kind of seemed like Michigan was kind of dragging out of that timeout, didn't have the energy and the intention that they showed for the beginning of the second half. So, yeah, Northwood needs to continue that momentum to try and get back into this game.
Yeah, coming out of the break, they had a couple big plays, had the dunk, had the alley-oop, and now, especially after that timeout, they did slow down a bit. And now you are up 50, 82-32 now, but you need to keep the ball moving, keep trying to make plays, and give people something to look forward to heading into the season. 9:49 left in this second half. And honestly, the story of this game has been Trey Jackson and Terrace Reed, both of them performing phenomenally. Trey Jackson, 7 for 8 from the field, 3 for 2 from 3, has 17 points and a rebound. Just played great today, and that's what you need to see from him.
Yeah. I would also throw in Olivier Combo into that conversation. 11 points, but really where he's been dominant has been on the assists. 5 assists for the night so far. I'm sorry. Yeah, 5 assists for the night and 8 rebounds. He's contributing as well and really being a great supplement to Jackson and Williams.
Yeah, and along with that 3 blocks, which has been big, that defense has been necessary in having only 7 blocks as a team. So he's been a big part of their rim protection, and that'll be huge moving forward. Michigan bringing in a few new players this year. Trey Jackson, transfer from Seton Hall, as well as Olivier Comwell, also being a transfer from Tennessee. So these players coming in and performing is going to be huge for this program.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, 2 players who've been performing well tonight, transfers new to Michigan this season, so, you know, you didn't really know what to expect from them and having good starting performances.
All right, and here is Albert bringing it up over to now with Sims. Sims passes in off of the hands of Steele, and it'll be Michigan ball.
Michigan basketball.
Yet another turnover for this Northwood team in the second half, and now Washington is bringing the ball up the court. Over to Cheddar, now with Williams, back to Washington. He'll get the screen, and he'll shoot another pull-up mid-range, and that one will go in.
Washington, the 3rd.
Yes, 3rd field goal for the night. The freshman.
There is the 3 from Sims, and he will miss, and that'll be rebounded by Trey Jackson. Trey Jackson now bringing the ball up the court. He'll pass to Washington. Northwood now in a 2-3 zone. Terrence Williams with the ball to George Washington. George Washington drives in, kicks out to Trey Jackson for 3. That'll be off and rebounded by Arnold, and that'll be up to Sims for the layup. Now Washington back with the ball for Michigan after the turnover and open layup. That'll be passed to Cheddar. Cheddar back to Washington, over to Terrence Williams in the corner, and that will miss. Cheddar with the rebound out to Comwell, back to Cheddar. Cheddar will hit the 3, put Michigan up 87-34.
Yeah, his first made 3 of the night. Missed 3 previously, but no, Cheddar's been great this game with 10 rebounds.
Yeah, been great coming off the bench in relief of Terrace Reed. Now here is Young for Northwood with the miss, and That'll be rebounded by Michigan. Washington now with the ball. He will shoot another pull-up mid-range, this time from the free throw line, and miss. There's the offensive rebound for Cheddar. But it will be
No basket. Foul was on the floor.
a
to the
foul on the floor against Steele for
His
Northwood.
third personal, team's third. Media timeout on the floor.
And now here is another media timeout.
Yeah, it just feels like Northwood need to slow down a bit. They've had a lot of quick turnovers or quick shots that they haven't made and haven't been able to rebound, which then just converts to a Michigan possession. And yeah, it just seems really rushed, and like they're not able to make quality passes and get a decent shot off, which yeah, goes along with what you mentioned earlier. Now they have 1 assist for the night, but it's felt very solo-minded and not very connected and rushed.
Yeah, Northwood with 17 three-point attempts, but only hitting 12% of them, 2 for 17. That goes to the point of them being rushed, just kind of coming up the court and taking the first shot instead of trying to find something open, which has not worked out for them today. Michigan tonight with 43 rebounds to Northwood's 28. That rebounding is such a huge part of basketball, and that rebound disparity has definitely led to this score line tonight.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you know, Michigan has had some missed shots. You know, they're 58% for field goals, but you know, they've been great in rebounds and they've been great in second chance, third chance opportunities, and making sure that each possession there is not, you know, getting a basket, getting a decent shot, and recovering. Which is another thing that, you know, Northwood hasn't done as well with the offensive rebounds.
Michigan has played fairly well tonight. Their defense has been pretty dominant. You go into these exhibition games usually expecting a lot from the Division I team, but this has been big for them, and I bet this is going to give them some confidence heading into the season. Get the players warm, get them ready to shoot, and ready to start their season off.
Definitely.
And now coming out of the timeout, there will be a few subs. Michigan now has on the court Trey Jackson, William Cheddar, has George Washington, has Selvala, as well as Cooper Smith. And now they'll inbound the ball. Washington with the ball. Washington throws it into Cheddar, but that'll bounce off to him, and now Northwood with the ball. Northwood now bringing it up the court. The pass to Albert. Albert over to Steele, over to Sims on the left wing. Sims now driving in, will kick out, and Northwood with another floater. That one is for Young.
Will Young the second.
Now here is the inbounds to Smith. Smith crossing half court. Northwood still in the same 2-3. And Smith will now get the pass to the 3, and he will try to kick it out to George Washington, but it will bounce off
At about 2 minutes, Michigan basketball.
Young the second for Northwood, making it Michigan ball. Smith will be the one inbounding here. Smith up to Washington. Washington at the top of the key. Washington to the high post, and there's Cheddar on the low block, and he will get blocked.
At about 2 minutes, Michigan basketball.
Michigan getting the ball back as that one bounced out of bounds. That was a block for Steele the second on Northwood. Now here's Washington with the contested mid-range. Misses. There's the shot clock violation.
Northwood basketball.
That was strong defense by Northwood, that possession, that Michigan possession. Need to keep that up to try and stay in the game, as well as improve on the other end of the court as well. As Northwood loses the ball, but it went off Michigan's
Northwood basketball.
cheddar, and it's still Northwood's
Checking
ball.
into the Timberwolves, 33, Richard Lowe.
Lowe checking in for the Timberwolves. He will go in for he will go in for Steele. Now here is Washington at the top of the key for Michigan. There's Smith. Smith back up to Washington. Washington over to Trey Jackson. Back to Washington. There is Zavala, and there is in the corner Trey Jackson for yet another corner three.
Great movement there by Michigan. Lots of quick passes, moving the ball around. And yeah, great three by Jackson.
And here is Albert back to that left wing Sims. Sims up to Dunn. Dunn back to Albert. Albert now. He will take the sidestep three, and that one will bounce off. But rebounded this time by Young the second. Young the second down to Lowe. Lowe loses his balance and throws it away to Cooper Smith. Smith now for Michigan at the top of the key. He will drive in, and there's the travel off the slip.
Travel violation.
Looks like he slipped
Northwood
on the
basketball.
court.
Checking in for your Wolverines, number 14,
Here
Ian
now
Burns.
is number 14.
Checking in for the Timberwolves,
Ian
number
Burns.
5,
Ian
Jordan
Burns
Jackson.
going in for Trey Jackson. And that will probably be Trey Jackson's night there. Great debut for him. I don't think he could have asked for anything better. Now he's going to look to do the same thing in their season opener.
Yeah.
And now here's Jackson for Northwood to Lowe. Back to Dunn. Dunn will give the ball to Albert. Albert to Lowe. Lowe now drives in, and that'll bounce off of Burns. And then off of Jackson, making it Michigan ball.
Checking in for your Wolverines, 31, Harris.
Michigan opens up the season on Tuesday against UNC Asheville. They will look to bring the same intensity there and hopefully have a similar result. As here is now Ian Burns in the corner. Burns will kick up to Cooper Smith, who will miss the three. And now here is Northwood pushing the pace. Jackson for three, misses. Lowe with the offensive rebound. He will put up the shot and miss. Rebounded by 31. Hochberg for Michigan. Now Ian Burns throws the ball away. Passed up to Jackson. And Jackson with the slam for Northwood.
Yeah, rare turnover there for Michigan, but that was the Timberwolves' first basket in 3 minutes.
Just 7 turnovers for Michigan. And here in the corner is Ian Burns. Misses. Is rebounded by Jackson. Jackson's going to push the pace. Jackson dribbling against Washington. Jackson to the wing to Sims. Sims now down to Lowe. Lowe with the post shot, and that will be in.
Richard Lowe.
That's 12 for him today. And here is Smith again with the ball for Michigan. Smith will receive the screen. Smith now to Washington on the wing. Lets the three fly and will miss. This now rebounded by Jackson. Jackson into the corner for Sims. Sims will miss the three. And the ball will bounce off of Washington, making it Northwood ball.
Media timeout on the floor.
And here is another media timeout. Northwood performing fairly well against the late crew from Michigan. Michigan has not played has not made a field goal in the last almost 3 minutes now. But they are going to continue to look to try and find easy passes when they can find them, get themselves easy buckets. But as of right now, there's no need for them to push the pace and try to score a lot more points here. Michigan 12 for 25 from 3 today for 48%. Phenomenal shooting percentage. That is what you look for in every game. And if they can even get close to that, they will be very happy heading into the regular season.
Yeah, like you said, Northwood, I feel like they've been better in this last stretch. Low for the game has been great for them with 12 points for on the night, 10 rebounds, and Albert really seems to be, a playmaker for them. With their only 2 assists of the night so far. So definitely positives to take away from this game, even if the score, the scoreline doesn't necessarily reflect it as well. I feel like they've improved in this last stretch.
Yeah, you definitely have some things to take away. Turnovers, 12 it's not ideal, but it's not as bad as it could be. So you look at something like that, taking care of the ball fairly well. You do obviously want to look for a couple more assists for your team, but as far as taking care of the ball, it's been all right, and I think that's something that you can take away heading into their own season.
Yeah. And I'd say on the other hand, Michigan's maybe been a little bit more sloppy the second half. They've had 7 turnovers. So, Northwood's definitely trying to impose themselves in this game and are making Michigan make mistakes.
Yes, and here is Albert for Northwood. Off the inbounds, drives in for the layup, and he will be fouled. This is going to be on number 40, George Washington III, the 4-star freshman coming into this program.
At the line, shooting 2 for the Timberwolves, number 11, Colin Albert.
Colin Albert now at the free throw line. First one is up, and it will miss. Northwood, this second free throw will be only their 6th free throw attempt of the game. Not gotten to the line as much as he would like, but he will make the second one, making them 50% from the line. Now here is Smith bringing the ball up the court. Smith will pass over to Washington. Pass to the high post, back out to Smith. Smith for 3, misses again, and that'll be rebounded by number 0, Bar Jesser for Northwood. And now here's Jackson. Jackson with the deep mid-range. That will miss. Low with the tip. Looks like there will be a foul here against Northwood.
Northwood foul is the number 33, Richard Lowe.
Offense, loose ball foul there for Lowe. That's his 3rd. And now Smith, top of the key over to Washington. Back to Smith. Now to the wing. Back to Smith. Now that'll bounce off of Northwood, and Michigan will keep the ball. Burns here to inbound the ball. He will get it back to Smith. Smith out to Burns, but he will miss, and that'll be a turnover for Michigan.
Northwood basketball.
Yeah, another unforced turnover for Michigan. Yeah, they just seem to be a little out of it towards the end of the second half.
Definitely a much slower pace in the second half. And now there is going to be a pass from Albert, but it will bounce off the foot of number 34, Selvala. and
Timberwolves
Northwood will keep the
possession.
ball.
Shot clock set to 20 seconds.
Northwood will get the ball into Albert. Albert now. Albert will receive a screen from Steele, and he will drive in, but that'll be blocked. That block is by Jackson Selvala.
Northwood basketball.
Northwood will keep the ball as the ball did go out of bounds. Northwood will inbound, bounced off of George Washington's hand,
Northwood basketball.
back out of bounds. Northwood with another inbound incoming. Jackson, the inbounder, looks for Sims. That'll be stolen by Smith. And
Out of bounds.
it'll be out of bounds on Smith
Northwood
after he
basketball.
slips.
Yeah, there was a collision between Timberwolves number 3 Sims and looks like Michigan's 45 Smith, but looks like everyone's okay.
There is Steele giving the ball to Jackson. Jackson with the tough mid-range, and that'll miss. Rebounded by Albert. Albert controlling the pace. Get a screen, kick out to Barjesser, and he will miss the 3 short.
A good possession by Northwood. Kept it for a long time, but weren't able to get any points out of it.
Missed 3 there from Ian Burns, giving Northwood the ball back.
Last minute of play in regulation.
Northwood
1 minute remaining.
will turn the ball over, and here is Hochberg, and he will finish the tough layup at the rim.
Yep, his first field goal of the night.
Harrison Hochberg, the freshman, coming into the program. And there's Jackson. Jackson will attack the rim, and he will miss. Selvala met him there. Turnover, though, to Sims. Sims will try to put up the tough layup, and he will be fouled.
Michigan foul. He's the number 31, Harrison Hochberg. His first personal.
Looks like
team
might have been
second.
knocked in the shoulder. Number 3 Sims for the Timberwolves. Got up a little slowly. Still clutching that arm. Hasn't quite shaken it off yet.
Sims will have 2 upcoming here. That foul was on Hochberg, who had the block the play before. Block into a turnover, now into a foul. And Sims will knock down the first free throw. 35 seconds left in this game. Sims, now the second free throw. That one will be in. 43 points here for Northwood, trying to keep it under a 50-point game. Smith now will hit Washington on the wing. Washington will try to find Ian Burns in the corner for a 3, but it'll be stolen. And Steele with the athletic finish at the rim over Cooper Smith.
Yeah, it looked like he got a hand to the face, but was able to get the slam.
Now here is Cooper Smith, and will pass up to Ian Burns, and he is holding the ball for the last 4 seconds. And that will be the game. 92-45, Michigan win.
Yeah, an overall dominant performance by Michigan. I feel like you can take a lot of positives away. You know, definitely were a bit more lackluster in the last 5 minutes of the game. When it seems like they'd taken out more of their starters and had more of a backup team on the court, but you know, overall we're able to come out with a dominant win, and I feel have a good start to the season.
Yeah, definitely gives Michigan some good things to look at. You had your transfers come in, have a great day. You had Trey Jackson play phenomenally. Amari Burnett had a pretty efficient day. 9 points on 3 for 4 shooting, 3 for 3 from 3, and you had Olivier Kamwa also come in and have an amazing debut.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of positives. On the other hand, you have Northwood, who, you know, like we said earlier, the scoreline tells one story, but although they definitely struggled, they struggled to make shots, struggled to keep possession of the ball, had a lot of turnovers, but they definitely had moments where they came into the game.
Yeah, and they will look to have a good start to their season. Michigan will start on Tuesday at home against UNC Asheville. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you for joining us. To those who listened in, I'm Ali Espiske.
I'm Gavin Briggs.
And yeah.